fortunate ride comfort.
Supplying you with brand name tires like Maxxis, Kumo, Good Ride,
Westlake,
and Triangle.
Boom! Enjoy the VIP style customer waiting lounge with refreshments and free Wi-Fi. You know what I'm saying, yo? This is Skinny Fabulous, and when it comes to tires, nobody makes it easier than OT. Boom! Got me on the road. When me OT car tire.
Follow OT Tire on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter today.
Hey, boom! Run the road with OT tires.
WEFM 99.9, home of quality programming. A source of reliable news and information. Home of legendary voices and music. WEFM 99.9, the clean fresh sound. Visit us online at www.999wefm.com or call 457-9994. WEFM 99.9, the clean fresh sound.
99.9 WEFM.
Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
Back with more talk time here on Activated Mornings with Roleza and Dianna. This time we are going to be having a conversation. It's part of our political conversation series. This time we have in studio Miss Laverne Gibson-Velox, a candidate, the East St. George candidate for the New Democratic Party. Good morning, Miss Velox. Mrs. Velox, sorry.
Dianna and Roleza, it's a pleasure to be here with you this morning.
How are you?
I am doing very well, thank you.
Yeah.
You know, my first time at WEFM, so I'm still, getting used to sitting in the chair. All right, I'll be fine.
We're harmless. We're very harmless.
I realize.
The good thing about coming to WEFM, before you even get in the studio, we present you with this beautiful view. So that alone should take away all feelings of anxiety and all these things. And
honestly, it was something I didn't expect.
Mm-hmm.
It was on both sides, left and right.
Yes.
And then I realized, you're on a little kind of peninsula out there, but it is gorgeous.
Indeed it is. Big up Kittels Beach. All right. All right. So we don't have a whole lot of time this morning. All right. So we're going to try to capitalize on the time as best as we possibly could. All right. So who is Laverne Velox, by the way?
Laverne Velox is just an ordinary citizen of St. Vincent and the Grenadines who loves this country. I tell people all the time, I have 6 sisters. They all live overseas. I am the only one who stayed here. And one of the things about it is that, this is a country that has given me a lot with not very much. So I'm grateful, and I always saw, it has a reason for me to give back something. And I thought politics was a way of doing it in a bigger way. I mean, I did the bank already, and yes, you help a lot of people at the bank, but sometimes it just seems inadequate because you see so much need out there when you're sitting in there and you're listening to people's stories and, understand that there's a lot of need that is not met. So that's one of the reasons that I'm here.
Are those some of the reasons, or do those have any role to play in you choosing to run for politics? Yeah, those things that you saw while you were there?
Definitely, because to me, politics, you got more of a wholesale reach. You've got to more people. You have that ability to touch more lives. So that was basically it.
And why the NDP then?
The NDP is a party that I've supported since 1984. I have been supporting the NDP. I mean, I've not always agreed with everything, but to me, it was always the party that, resonated with me, that had the values that I, identified with. So it was the obvious choice. Mind you, nobody knew about my politics until after I had exited the bank. I just didn't do the politics on the job.
Okay, well, I suppose as you should. Right. All right. So, with regards to your experience, though, being at the bank, and you were the head of the bank at the time, it was
no, it's Penny Bank and so much more.
Right, yeah. How does your experience there prepare you for a potential role within government?
A bank like the Penny Bank, remember, it is a local bank. It's it's not like the full service commercial banks. It's basically a savings and loans operations. Although I know for years they've been trying to expand and do different things. But the Penny Bank was born out of the salt of the earth people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the people who plied their trade on the sidewalks as vendors, and literally the poor people who couldn't go to the Barclays Bank of the day and access loans. So that is the void that the Penny Bank filled, and it remained true to that mandate, so to speak, throughout, because it's one of the banks that, while I was there, I'm not sure what it is now, but while I was there, it was one of the banks that it was easier to get access to loans, credit facilities, and even to open an account. There was not a lot of red tape.
Okay,
and it was known as the Penny Bank because when it was started, all it took to open an account was the penny.
Okay, but in terms of like your managerial style, how is the skill set that you've gained from being there, or any different positions that you have? Should you get into government, how are you going to be able to transfer some of these skills into a position within government?
As the manager of the bank, I had open door policy. Anybody who wanted to see me saw me. I was also a hands-on manager. I mean, you might have seen pictures of me when the bank flood. I'm out on the sidewalk scrubbing and cleaning and, that kind of thing. And my staff, they thought I was hard on them. But when you leave, they tell their friends, oh, this is the best manager we ever had. Because, you spoke to them about certain things and you let them know, listen, I'm not speaking to you for here and now. This is for life. You're going to leave here at some point in time. You're still going to have to be able to survive. And, so with my staff, I was more hands-on. Some like you, some didn't, and that's fine. At the end of the day, you have to do what was right for the bank. And when you're in banking, you get to meet a lot of people from all walks of life with a myriad of needs and wants, and you try to help them in whatever way you could, because you understand that they just needed some help to get to that next level. I mean, I remember that, there was a time when, the government money was late in getting back to university, and we'd give people bridging loans until that money came through. And, I don't know what else. We used to literally bend over backward because the KYC policies, know your customer, came into to action a lot. Once you know your customers and you have that relationship with them, you know that they're going to come and pay back this money whenever they get it. So it was okay, for you to advance them some money until.
Okay.
All right. So speaking about knowing your customers, can you tell me about your constituents, some of the things that not the general needs and wants, but in your walkabout, in your sitting down with them and reasoning on a one-on-one basis, what are some of the feelings that you get from them? Also, what ministry are you shadowing?
Actually, I'm not shadowing a ministry. I think only our parliamentarians are doing that. So I'm not shadowing a ministry. Okay. But in terms of, I came into the elections like 4 months before in 2020. So I did not get a lot of time. I did a lot of walkabouts, and in the middle of it, I came down with dengue, and that I didn't prepare myself for. That was like 3 weeks of being immobile. So I didn't get a lot of time with them. And because of that, I went back into the constituency on the 5th of November, 2020, which was the day after elections. I went right back. Even though I had lost and I was feeling down, I had to go and show the people, we're still strong. And we at it again. And between then and now, that's the time I took to move around, get to know people better. I sat on pallets on the side of the road, and I sat on people's stairs and generally just had conversations with them. Sometimes people don't even want to talk about politics because it seems as if we just are politics out because everything surrounds politics. So sometimes you just have casual conversations with them. And at the end of the day, you get to realize that people only want to know that they're going to get a representative who's going to look out for their needs, who's going to take care of their needs. And that's how I did it. So I did a lot of the going around, and then I saw a lot of things that, could have been done differently or needed to be fixed. And, I would highlight them, and some I got fixed and some I didn't. I guess I was pushing my luck for all.
But what are some of the key things that you can point out? Maybe let's say like highlight 3. What are some of the 3 things that persons say they really want to have addressed within their constituency?
The infrastructure, because arguably Eastern George has some of the worst roads in St. Vincent, and along with that is the drainage problem, because a lot of the drains are blocked. And when the drains are blocked, the water spills over into the road when there's heavy rains and so on. And that is what accounts for some of the roads being damaged. And a little hole over time becomes a bigger hole, and then it becomes a big project. And people have to drive their vehicles on these roads. We have a road in Fair Hall that is going on for, I've been in Eastern George as the NDP's representative for like 6 years, and that has been going on for more than 6 years, because I met it being fixed and it's not done up to this day. They started, I know the Calico project was a big problem for the people of Calico, being the town and a former capital of St. Vincent, Calico was. And that project was supposed to have taken 6 months. It took almost 2 years. It started at $2.2 million. The last figure I heard was $6 million. But up to now, they have not had a meeting with the people of Calico who could tell them, well, listen, when the rain comes, the water flows like this. So because, that would give them an insight as to how the project should be executed. None of that ever happened. Then there's another area where they put up a wall at the end of there's a place called Bottom Tongue in Calico, the end of a dead-end road. They put up a wall because they say that's where the water comes into Calico. But if you don't take the wall right down to the bridge, then the water is going to find its way in. And that's another concern for residents. So, it's all these things. I'm beginning to sound like an engineer.
Or it means that you're listening attentively to the needs of your constituents. So.
Well, that is true. And there was also the playing field up at in between Ribishi and Fair Hall. That wall came down in one piece. The wall alone cost $500,000. Now there are other problems developing. There's actually a V in the road where it's caving in, and it's just a matter of time. But I guess we have other big projects going on, so a lot of other projects going on. Now I have a pet peeve because they were fixing a road coming up from the gym in Fitness Lab. They started to fix that road just before my house. They stopped. And
coincidence.
Of course, it's a coincidence, but it continues further up the road, and the people are complaining because it's not 1 or 2 people that use that road. It's a very, very busy road. As you know, Eastern George is one of those constituencies that's highly populated, very densely populated, and a lot of people own vehicles. I mean, think about the wear and tear on vehicles just driving on these bumpy roads every single day. It's rough.
All right. So what we're going to do, we are going to take a break here at this time, as we have a sponsored segment right now. And then we'll be back with part 2. All right. So
Sure.
we have a lot more questions for Ms. Velox. All right.
Get ready for back to school with